Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the It Factor, blessing the airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
the biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world. The SBTV Nation.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's the 8th of July. We are at the post 4th of July holiday extravaganza that went on. Basically, weekend during the week. It's a little bit nuts, man, especially if you're out there working. It was just so strange because, you know, for me, I was going basically the weekend, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And it was weird because, you know, I was trying to make calls from my cell phone and whatnot, and I couldn't figure out if people were working Monday. Couldn't figure if people were taking the day off Wednesday. Couldn't figure out, obviously, the 4th of July, nobody was working. But just a strange week when it happens like that. And you know what? Either way, I hope you all enjoyed a little bit of R&R over the weekend, over the holiday. It was great. Hope you all were safe. Obviously, you were if you're listening to our program right now, so congratulations on that. I can tell you this much, that I ended up visiting Freeport, New York on Sunday. We ended up going up there. DJ Eric Murillo was up there. We had a really good time. Got a table, spent a fortune on booze and food and all that, but hey, man, it was what it was. We were there for about 7 hours. Tore up a whole bottle of Grey Goose vodka myself. You want to talk about pain the next day? Oh, my God. 7 hours, polished off a whole bottle. Actually, there was like, I'd say about a half inch left at the bottom. I just couldn't do it. But a lot of booze on Sunday, man. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. You know, Monday, Tuesday, we journeyed out to Atlantic City. Did a nightclub out in Caesar's Palace. Did a phenomenal dinner at my bride's uncle's house. Guy's a 5-star chef. Did 32-ounce bone-in ribeyes, $150 bottles of wine, and then Louis XIII cognac to polish it off. This guy works at a 5-star restaurant, so I guess he gets pretty decent deals on all this stuff. So, I mean, the Louis XIII, if you go out, literally, it's $90 for a half ounce in the restaurant. And this guy was just pouring them. I was like, dude, fantastic. So, you know what? When you have the good stuff, it doesn't really hurt you as bad the next day. It's when you drink the cheap stuff. It's when you end up with a major, major hangover. So, ride back wasn't too bad, but I can tell you this much. If you leave Atlantic City, make sure, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. If you're driving back to, let's say, New York or Connecticut or whatever, if you're doing it, check your GPS. Google has something now where it actually gives you the time. It estimates it based on traffic. So you could look and see if it's going to be a 6-hour drive or a 3.5-hour drive based on traffic. Traffic's usually hell leaving Atlantic City, guys. So you got to leave when everybody else has gone. So we left on Wednesday around 1 o'clock and didn't really hit any traffic there or New York, which was nice. So, big ups to everybody that's out on Twitter right now. We are the SBTV Nation, and we are live. The Dream will be back tomorrow, kicking it with us. And guys, football season is only a couple months away. Just letting you know. And we're gearing up and getting ready because we are going to be doing our SBTV Nation Fantasy Football Weekly Contests. Usually what we do is we pick a spot like DraftKings. We get on there. We make the league. $10, $20 buy-ins, $5 buy-ins, whatever. Top couple get paid. So for every 10 registrants that we have, there's one place paid. So if we get 50, the top 5 will get paid. 100, the top 10 will get paid. If we have 10, only the top will get paid. So That's pretty much self-explanatory, and you know what? I was very successful at it last year, whooping everybody's ass, and I plan on doing it this year. So what will end up happening is we're going to do some weekends here for the next couple of weeks, obviously in July, as we got baseball going on. And I'm going to be doing some traveling and some screwing around coming up real soon, guys. So you know what? We'll be at it, but I got to enjoy. Listen. Here in Connecticut, you got to understand something. You only get 2 months out of the year with stellar weather, if it's even stellar. I mean, it's been up and down a little bit, but for the most part, the last couple of weeks have been beautiful. So on the weekends, I'm going to be enjoying myself a little bit, guys. But we're going to be promoting heavily for our football show. We'll be going live during the weekends, trying to figure out the rest of the schedule with football. But for the most part, at least college Saturday, NFL Sunday. We'll be here. We'll be live. We'll be with The Dream. We'll be with Dr. Dan, the Evil Genius. We'll be with everybody rocking and rolling and going from there. Big ups to Fast Eddie. Jim Rohn is a douche. Direct Sports Solutions, what's up? My man Marlon's out there. Shy Picks is out there. Tiger Clinch is out there. Follow him, Tiger Clinch MMA, for all his winning UFC and Bellator plays. And guys, we will go from there. So I wanted to touch on a couple of things here. I wanted to touch on the standings in Major League Baseball, okay? Because we're going to go through this and just kind of have a conversation with ourselves. Not a lot has changed in the last week and a half or so, okay? But I can tell you this much, that there are a couple of teams that have emerged that are surprises this year, as you know. So let's continue and go from there, guys. We're going to kick this right off. We're going to talk with the American League East. You got the Sox over the Yankees by 4.5 games now. Yankees are 3-7, losers of their last 3 straight. Tough team to bet these days, especially when they're favored all the time, guys. You got to kind of, keep that in the back of your brains. I mean, you're laying a lot of juice with this Yankees team, and quite frankly, when you're 3-7 in your last 10, that's a problem. Okay, and that's cost, especially if you're a chase player, that's costing you a lot of money if you're doing that with the Stanks. So just be careful, because I mean, when you take a look at them, just in the last 10, okay, they were favored. I mean, dude, they're favored minus 215, minus 200, minus 140, minus 170. Beware. Be very much aware, because, I mean, when you got, a couple of games in a row where they're losing, like the last 3, for instance, I mean, you got to lay like 10, you got to lay like $1,000 just to get your C-note back if you're down a C-note at this point, per game. Looking at the rest of it, obviously the Rays, the O's, and the Toronto Blue Jays are under 10 games back all, but for the most part, I think that the Boston Red Sox are starting to put it together a little bit. In the Central, you got the Cleveland Indians, no surprise there, 1.5 games up over the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota's still, 4 games over 500. Can they catch them? Maybe. I think a team that's got a better shot at catching them, believe it or not, if they decide to make a trade and, kind of beef up their arsenal a little bit, is the Kansas City Royals. They're only 2 games out. Okay, I mean, they've been playing really good ball. I mean, I don't know what the exact percentage is, but I know in the last couple of months they've been pretty damn good. So, keep that in the back of your brains that the, Kansas City Royals, I think they got a pretty good shot here, to be honest with you. And when you look at the wild card race, I mean, they're right there. Going down to the West, obviously you got the Houston Astros that are beating the snot out of the entire division. 16.5 games up over the LA Angels. This team, listen, this is a young team. The pitching has been good. The offense has been great. When you have a bunch of youngsters that have this kind of chemistry, as the Astros do right now, I think they're going to be really tough to beat. They're 31 games over 500. Outstanding baseball they're playing. And you got the Rangers, Mariners, Athletics, obviously a bunch of games out there. National League East, you got the Nationals still holding their own, up and down. This team will get you if you're laying a lot of juice with them, so be very careful with them. The Atlanta Braves, 9.5 out. The Metropolitans, 11 out. And Marlins and Phillies obviously stink. In the Central, Big surprise here. No surprise to me with the second place team. But the first place team, you got the Milwaukee Brewers. Just think about that for a minute. Milwaukee Brewers, 9 games over 500. First place, 4.5 over the Cubs. Winners of 5 straight games. Hey, maybe the Brewers are... maybe they're going to make the playoffs. Can you imagine? Sick. I know that they were a big long shot at the beginning of the year. So if you got down with them, you're doing pretty well right now. And that team, started off as an underdog all the time. Starting to kind of correct itself a little bit as far as the books are concerned. So Cardinals 6.5, Pirates 8, Reds 10.5 out. Honestly, I think that division can go to anybody besides the Reds. I really do. I don't think the Cubs are going to be much more than a 500 team this year, to be honest with you. Not the way they're playing. And obviously, they can't rely on Jake Arrieta anymore. Could be a problem for them. Then going over to the West, dude, the Dodgers have been tearing through teams here. I mean, they are winners of 4 straight, 8-2 in their last 10. D-backs 5.5, Rockies 8.5, Padres 21. And the San Francisco Giants, the worst team in baseball at 25 games out. The worst team in baseball. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The Phillies are. They're second worst. All right. Big ups to Robert McFalls and Mo Diggs. Welcome to the party, guys. Pretty excited about what we got going on here for football season coming up. We got about 2 months to go. So we're getting ready to rock and roll with that, man. So... stack a couple dollars because we're going to be doing our fantasy football contest each and every week. We'll be starting out with the first one. We'll probably end up doing a show maybe like 2 days before it to really, to get the Sunday NFL card really popping. Because we're going to have, obviously, week 1. And what we want to do is we want to have at least, I'd say, 26 of the 32 teams playing. So this way we get our chances to get a lot of players. So, and also, obviously, a lot of players as far as the SBTV Nation is concerned. I'm looking forward to beating y'all. That's how I do. All right, man, so let's get right into this. Let's talk about the MLB and what we got going on here as far as today's games, because there are a bunch of them, as always, with Major League Baseball. First game on the ticket. You have a first place Brewers team playing a team in the New York Yankees that have not been playing so well recently. Losers of 3 straight. The Yankees are minus 204 with Luis Severino on the bump. He's got a 5-4 record with a 3.52 ERA. Do the Yankees have any business whatsoever giving that type of juice, especially when they've already given it 2 days in a row and lost? God, man, if you guys are down 1,000, you got to lay $2,040 to make that 1,000 back. Now, when you look at it on paper, the Yankees are the better team in offense, defense, team ERA, hits, walks, offensively and defensively. I mean, they're superior in everything. However, the Brewers are playing better ball. When you take a look at this game, you got a team like the Brewers that's red hot. I'm not going to take them as an underdog because I think the Yankees will win the game. I really do. I'm not going to get involved in it, but just something to think about. If the Yankees were like a minus 150, minus 140, I'd take a shot. Not at minus 204. I mean, maybe you parlay it with something, but who the hell wants to do that? Listen, because then you need another team, I'm good with that. Next couple of games on the ticket. Let's have a conversation about the Braves and Nationals. First place versus second place, believe it or not. Nationals minus 204 with Steven Strasburg on the bump versus Julio Teheran for the Atlanta Braves. Now, when you look at this matchup, okay, Washington is clearly the better team here, okay, in everything, just like the Yankees were to the Brewers when they were playing the Brewers today. So, taking a look at it, big fight card tonight in the UFC. No doubt, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Nunez again, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Thank you, Fast Eddie, for sending me that. I appreciate it. Now, the Nationals seems very, very, very appetizing, to be honest with you. I think they'll get the job done here. I think they'll beat the Braves. Interdivision, anything could happen, but I like that play. Maybe we go Nationals and Yankees at -1s. If we do that, it probably pays pretty damn well, guys. So something to take a look at here. I'm going to pull it up right now and just try to get a feel for what that pays. So if you just give me a minute, maybe we can find some action. Irvin, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? You ready for football? Because I know I am. Couple more months, guys. Couple more months. Pulling it up here. Let's see. If we were to get the Nationals at a -1 at -160. And then if we were to take the New York Yankees at a -1, -155, that puts us at, let me just pull it up, 160 and 155. Parlay calculator. Give me 1 second, boys and girls. And a -155, right? Yep. $100 bet pays you $167. Guess what? I love it. I'm on it. Yankees, Nationals, -1 run, parlay, $100 pays $167. All about it. So what's going to end up happening is that if one of them just wins by 1 run, let's say you win both games and one of them wins by 1 run, you're going to push that, and it's going to bring you down to the -160 to -155, whatever's obviously remaining. So that's something to take a look at. Another game of note here. You got 2 piss-poor teams. I know this is a terrible game to talk about, but do the Phillies have any business giving anybody juice, like, at all, ever being favored? I don't think so. Even with Aaron Nola on the bump, who's had a halfway decent year, versus Jhoulys Chacin for the San Diego Padres. Phillies are -143 with an under-over of 8. I gotta be honest with you. I almost want to take the San Diego Padres on the run line. +220. I may take a shot with that, to be honest with you. That might be something I'm on. I know it's a nasty game. It's so nasty. But I'm all over it. Okay? Next one on the ticket we've got is, let's see. Scrolling down trying to find something halfway decent here for us. Give me a minute. Looking at oh, there we go. All right. Chicago White Sox at the Colorado Rockies. This is at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's not that bad as far as the juice is concerned, man. I mean, when you look at it here, Colorado's only -133 on the money line. If you get them down to -1, I'm sure it pays pretty well. -1.5, even better. I'm really feeling these run lines these days, guys. The -1.5 is +140. In Coors Field, I know it's Quintana's on the bump. I know Quintana's a hell of a pitcher, but to be honest with you, when you're in Coors Field and you got the opportunity to hit a lot of balls out of the park, the run line usually always comes to form. So I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take the Colorado Rockies on the run line at +140. And scrolling down to the rest of this here, Arizona Diamondbacks 33-13, 20 games over 500 at home versus Luis Castillo and the Cincinnati Reds. Taijuan Walker's pitching for Arizona. Arizona -143. I don't think that is bad either as far as juice is concerned. I'm considering taking the D-backs as well. So I'm looking at the D-backs. I'm looking at the Rockies. I'm looking at the Nationals. I'm looking at the Yankees. I may consider doing a 14 parlay and putting the 4 of them money line together. That probably pays really dope. And now I'm going to mix and match, run lines and -1s and stuff like that. So I think that's where I'm going to be, guys. Those are my 4 selections on where I'm at. I am just a guy that gambles for fun. I don't do this for a living. I'm not a handicapper. I don't sell plays. I don't do any of that. This is just somebody here that enjoys the same thing you do, and that's throwing a little wagers here and there on sports. Recreationally. I don't have a gambling problem. Just so you know. Okay? All right, so let's look real quick at the UFC. All right, now, I'm not an expert on this. Obviously, I got my boy Tiger Clinch. I want to see if he's already made selections on this. Pulling it up. No, not yet. All right, so, I'm hoping that Tiger Clinch MMA gives us some great MMA predictions. He ended the night 8-4 yesterday. So, very, very good outing for him. But let's take a look here and see what we got as far as UFC. Big card tonight. And thank you once again, Fast Eddie, for bringing this up to me. Obviously, you got the big one. You got the main event here. One of the main events, the co-main event. Nunes versus Shevchenko. Let's take a look what the odds are. This is very, very close. Amanda Nunes is minus 115 with an under-over of 2.5 rounds. Under 2.5 rounds, huh? She's so aggressive. Nunes. Plus 110 at under 2.5 rounds. Looks a little appetizing, but I don't know. I'm a Nunes fan. I think she's fantastic. I mean, she has just completely dominated the competition recently. Shevchenko, I don't know much about her, to be honest with you. So I'm going out to watch that fight tonight, guys. So if anybody else is, going to be out there, usually they do like the Buffalo Wild Wings usually hosts it. Around here anyway, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Let's take a look at who else we got. Direct Sports Solutions with the big fight night card. Yes, sir. And guys, I'm going to take Nunes. I'm taking her minus 115. And I'm going to parlay with all my baseball, I think. Biggest mismatches on the card here. I'm looking at 11 o'clock. Curtis Blades at minus 750 versus Daniel O'Meal and Cut. Is that right? O'Meal and Zuck. Something like that. Crazy. Plus 525. Damn! Expecting a beat down there. And then Chad Laprice versus Ben Camozzi at around 9 o'clock tonight is minus 640. Oh! Insane. So, hey, guys, I wish you the best of luck. I mean, to be honest with you, I have done pretty good with these fights. Obviously leaning on my man Tiger Clinch. But, as far as, fights going a distance, who's going to win and whatnot, it's been good for me. I've been doing a lot of the fights go to distance stuff, especially in boxing. It works so well for me. So that's pretty much it, man. I mean, yeah, listen, the rest of the card, like I said, follow my man Tiger Clinch MMA. He is a hell of a handicapper as far as that's concerned. And he doesn't charge you. So, you know what? Follow him on Twitter. Take a look at it. I'll retweet his stuff later on, and we will go from there. Big advocate of his because my man knows what he's doing. So, Saturday morning, I got a ton of work to do. I've already been up since 5:30. I'm not hungover today. I did my share of being hungover during the week, and I'm back now. So looking forward to a great night. Looking forward to eating some wings, drinking some beer, and watching some MMA UFC. I think that's going to be my cheat meal. Then I'm going to plan a little beach trip and go on like this 3-week, no carb, high cardio bonanza and just shred myself to death. I'm about 10 pounds away. I've already lost 16, so about 10 pounds away from being a very, very low high body percentage as far as fat is concerned. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for us. Listen, I appreciate you guys joining me every single weekend. We'll be back. We'll be live tomorrow, 10 o'clock. I look forward to talking to you. I hope you enjoy. Listen, and if you took the whole week and 2 weekends off, God bless you. I go a little nuts when I do that. It's all good. We love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do in life. And get that money. Let's go.